As an award-winning publication that has provided in-depth historical accounts for over 30 years. And The Panorama, a quarterly newsletter covering ongoing activities and historical presentations. Go to sfhistory.org and discover the San Francisco Historical Society, giving our history a great future. Become a member today.
You're listening to 95.7 The Game, KGMZ FM at HD1 San Francisco. An Odyssey station.
Good morning! Yeah.
It's time to wake up. It's 5, and we're live.
Oh, is this thing on? I don't care. I want him to hear.
This is the Pregame Show, your early morning shot of sports on 95.7 The Game. Come on!
Bosa is back. Come on. You guys weren't worried. That's what the 49ers do. It's like when Tyrion in Game of Thrones says, I drink and I know things. 49ers get players paid. And they also know things. Nick Bosa has agreed to a 5-year, $170 million extension with the San Francisco 49ers, including $122.5 million guaranteed. Will make him the highest paid defensive player in NFL history. It will. It has. He signed it. He's going to join the team, practice a couple days, and let's see what his action is. But welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. This is the Pregame Show. I'm your host, Joe Spadoni. And for the next hour, it's all football. Come on. It's Christmas, whatever you got to call it, Easter, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, whatever. It's the NFL version of that. We've got Chiefs, Lions. We got Nick Bosa signed. We've got expectations. We've got picks. We got divisional picks, wild card, Super Bowl picks. We're doing that all today. And 888-957-9570. I want to hear y'all's picks as well. You can give me all of them on your division winners. You can just give me your Super Bowl matchup, whatever you want. 888-957-9570. Twitch and YouTube, powered by First NorCal Credit Union. Hit me up there. We are streaming live every single day, Monday through Friday, at 5 through 7 p.m. Shout out the best of with Mark Grandy. So we're here all freaking day for you. And we were here yesterday when this Nick Bosa news dropped. I was heading home. I was just getting off the shift, and I heard JD, who's filling in for Guru, he gave all the deets. And I was like, there you go. It really wasn't that hard, was it? Come on. John, complicated. Oh. $122.5 million guaranteed. Now, check this out. The 49ers now have the highest paid defensive end, Nick Bosa, the highest paid running back, Christian McCaffrey, the highest paid fullback, Kyle Juszczyk, third highest paid tight end, George Kittle, the third highest paid left tackle, and Trent Williams, the third highest paid linebacker, Fred Warner, sixth highest paid defensive tackle, Javon Hargrave, and the seventh highest paid wide receiver in Deebo Samuel. And I'm sure Brandon Ayuk will join that list come next season. But 888-957-9570. Is it a sense of relief, 49er fans? You can enjoy your season now, not this dark cloud a la Jordan Poole hanging over your head. I don't call it Jordan Poole, just using that term dark cloud that Steve Kerr said so eloquently. By the way, Steve Kerr, big coaching matchup for him tomorrow in the FIBA World Championship semifinals in the Philippines against Germany. Yeah. Dennis Strutter and Bastian Schweinsteiger. Mario Götze. All right. Don't get me started on all the German players. 888-957-9570. Good morning to the YouTube and Twitch chats, the streams. Morali, Stunna, Sideshow Bob. Go dumb at the Sideshow. 187 T from the 203. I like that. That rolls off the tongue. Wendy Aftovich. Good morning. Morali, I'm back, baby. Sorry for the scare. Nick Bosa. Here you go. It sounded more like this. I'm back, baby. You guys didn't think I was going to miss the season with these Saccaroonies, man. No, I didn't. And this is the time for the 49ers to capitalize on this window. You got your real deal in Brock Purdy. He's only making $934,000. So you can pay all these guys. But when this happens, you have got to maximize the window. You've seen it in years past. Hell, you saw it in your own division with Russell Wilson. After that rookie contract was over, it was difficult for them to get back to that mountaintop. They never did get back to that mountaintop. Now he's in the Rocky Mountains in Denver. So, with the 49ers, it's Super Bowl or bust. It's been Super Bowl or bust with or without Bosa. Now that you have him here, makes that a lot easier, that goal. But I came in today's show thinking, what are we going to talk? We've been talking the whole offseason about Nick Bosa. What's going to go on with him? What's the story out of this? He finally signs highest paid defensive player in history, $122.5 million guaranteed. What was that, 34 annually? With the whole thing is 170 total, 122.5 guaranteed. So what's the conversation now? Well, the conversation for me is the 49ers take care of their players. And that's all you can ask as a fan is for your team to pay the best guys. It's easy to forget. Well, not for me. And if not, you're a fan of this team. There's a team here, probably going to be the Las Vegas Athletics soon enough. But the Oakland Athletics, they have an owner. And whenever you see a good player coming up with the A's, you're just, what's the joke? Oh, he'll look good in a Braves uniform. Oh, he'll be a Yankee in a few years. Oh, nice little player. Yeah, can't wait to see him in Washington. It's going to be great. It's torture for a fan base. Just living that way. And they've been living that way for the better part of 20 years, 20 plus years. But then you see what the great owners do. You see what the Joe Lacobs do. They reward good play. They pay these guys. They'll spend the money everywhere. On the players, on the staff, on the medicals, on everything. Food, flights, hotels, you name it. The best of the best go above and beyond at those sort of things. Because it's reflective of a good company and a company that cares. And ultimately, a company that cares in professional sports, they're all about winning. Because more winning equals more dollars in their pockets. That's why. Joe Lacob knows that. Hell, I think Jed York finally knows that. Took him a while. But he figured it out. Under this tenure with Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch, I've heard him say what? A few sentences, if that. Only thing I remember Jed York was tweeting from that NFL draft what was going on. Those weird messages he had about Trey Lance or whatever, Minnesota, South Dakota, North, whatever. He was so damn excited. Well, Trey Lance is gone. But all you can ask for as a fan is for your best players to remain with your team. You want them to be Niners for life, or a Giant for life, or a Warrior for life. That's what you want. And they got Bosa. I read off the list. They got McCaffrey. They got Kittle. They got Williams. They got Warner. They got Hargrave. They got Deebo Samuel. And they're probably going to have Brandon Ayuk too. If he balls out this year, contract year, we'll wait and see. I expect that to happen. What more can you ask for? Yeah, Super Bowl, okay. But the 49ers are a class organization. And in the NFL, that means something. So there's a lot of rinky-dink operations going on, to put it nicely. Hell, look at Arizona in your own division. That dumpster fire. There's so much of a dumpster fire. Caleb Williams is like, yeah, I might just stay in college another year and make a lot of money and hang out in Southern California. Sounds better than being in that dumpster fire. Literally on fire in Glendale. Where do they play? Glendale? Jeez. 120 degrees. Nah, I'm good. I'm good. I'll make more money. Stay in college. It's fun. Now, does that kind of put up a red flag for me, just as an outside observer? Yes, but as I digest here, as the great Lo Neal says, and Lo Neal, speaking of which, he's going to be on every single pregame show here at 95.7 The Game, getting you ready for the Niners games. Home games? You're going to make the Hilton Santa Clara. Larry Krueger, Lo Neal. Not going to want to miss them. So clearly not going to be there the first 2 weeks. But that Thursday night game against the New York Giants, oh, they'll be there. They will absolutely be there. And then on away games, you got our own Evan Giddings and Lo Neal. A couple Charger boys there. All right. Get after it, Evan. Let's go. So you got the home at the Hilton of Santa Clara, Larry Krueger, Lo Neal getting you ready for the game. Away, you got Evan Giddings, Lo Neal. And then post-game, you got the collection of Grandy, Mark Grandy, that is, for those that don't know. Best of the game. Get after it. 6 or 7. Then you got Sterling Bennett. Does a hell of a job. 49ers Access, covering the team. R95.7 The Game. Unofficial morning roast. 49ers Insider. And then you got Alan Stiles. The Stiles Files. Guy gets after it on social. I'll tell you what, man. Some of his Warrior takes are a little out there, but you know what? I'm not mad at the hustle. Don't knock it. Is he walking? Does he have the... He might be without the boot, too. In a bootless, Allen? Whew. It's a thing to reckon with. 888-957-9570. How are we feeling about Bosa being back, people? Come on. Lloyd Smith, good morning, Joe. Lloyd in Phoenix City, Alabama, looking forward to NFL season. Well, good morning, Lloyd. I appreciate you. It's called Phoenix City, Alabama, huh? T from the 203. Caleb Williams playing his best Matt Leinart. I was thinking more, that's a good point. Who was it coming out of there that year? Who was the worst team in the NFL for that Matt Leinart draft? And he ended up staying another year. But I was thinking Eli Manning if he ended up did coming out. And Eli obviously didn't want to go to the Chargers. He had a disgusting look on his face when he was holding it up. Ugh. And of course, he got rewarded with 2 Super Bowls with the Giants. I get it. You don't want to go into a bad situation. Sometimes that makes all the difference. Double March, I hope Nick Bosa throws Purdy a quick thank you million. Oh, Purdy will get taken care of this year. I'm sure he'll get some sort of endorsements. But it is interesting that we're all in agreement that if the 49ers are going to win a Super Bowl, Brock Purdy's got to be the dude, right? He's got to be making the plays. And he's going to be getting compensated $934,000 to do so. It's wild. It really is. But you know what? That's the NFL. Keep producing. Brock, you'll get paid. You'll get yours. Sometimes it's all about timing, and timing is everything when it's coming to contract negotiations. We all know that. And for Nick Bosa, it was perfect. Oh, yeah, I just won DPOY. Yeah, I just helped bring this defense and carried them to the NFC Championship. Oh, you want to play without me? Yeah, good luck. Who's you guys? Who's behind me? Oh, Drake Jackson, the guy that was getting, inactives in playoff games. Oh, Cleve Earl, that bust from Clemson. Okay. Now, I'm sure he wasn't that harsh. I'm sure it was his agent doing all the talking. But you get what I'm saying. Like, he had all the leverage in these talks all summer long. Not even close. So we knew he was going to be the highest paid defensive player in NFL history. We knew that. Rap Sheet said as much. Diana Rossini said as much. It was just the number we were all getting concerned about. I was like, man, if he's clearly the highest paid defensive player in NFL history, then why is it taking so long? What's going on? Is it just outrageous? And then all the speculation. Oh, if it's too outrageous, I don't know. It's just trade him. They got it done. Because that's what the 49ers under Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch, that's what they do. And when they make mistakes, like they did with DeForest Buckner, it was a mistake. They moved off him, tried to get Kinlaw. Hasn't worked out. And we'll see with Kinlaw this year.
Nah, bro, I'm really a freak, though. Like, the world gonna see, point blank, period.
Oh, we'll see. We'll see, Javon. But we got a Javon coming in instead, and that's when they realized their mistake. You know what? Let's go trade for this guy Hargrave from Philadelphia, who was a baller in the NFC Championship and all season long. So they got him. You got Armstead, you now got Bosa, and you're feeling pretty damn good about your week 1 chances. Now, what's it going to look like for Bosa in week 1? Is he playing? Is he going to be on a snap count? Well, Kyle Shanahan spoke to the media yesterday. Timely. That Bosa thing happened, right before it. Interesting. Kyle Shanahan on if they're preparing to have Bosa week 1 in Pittsburgh.
Not good thoughts. But when you feel it's kind of, you try not to think about it much because it's not really in my control, and you just got to let the process play itself out. Once it kind of went through the weekend, I just kind of got in my mind that we weren't playing with them. Because if I would have gone back and forth, that would have been miserable. So I just decided we weren't. I think our team was ready to not, and that was our mindset this way. And it was a hell of a bonus to just get told that coming in here. So we're obviously real excited about it.
Realistic amount of snaps for Sunday.
How many snaps are in the game? I'm just joking. We got to see when he gets here. I know Nick will come in shape. I know he'll be good. It'd be great if he could get in something today. I don't know when he's going to get here or where he's flying from. But we'll be smart with it, and that'll be based over these next 2.5 practices.
You could hear the smile on Kyle Shanahan's face right there. You can just hear it. How excited that guy is. He's more out of breath than usual. And Nick Bosa is going to play week 1. And I expect him to dominate because that's what Nick Bosa does. That's what the greats do. It's what TJ Watt did after he held out. He dominated. It's what the JJ Watts of the world, the Aaron Donalds of the world, all these guys. And I expect Nick Bosa to be no different. More from Shanahan talking about not getting involved in this negotiation.
I always want to get it done, and that's how we feel too. But I didn't get involved in this one at all. I try not to at all. We kind of had an idea it was going to be like this. I thought it would come to fruition sometime last week, and it didn't, which made me nervous, made me kind of move on with it just because I thought I had to. But we all knew Nick was going to get rewarded like he did. I don't know the exact details of it, but I knew it would be like that eventually. Our organization did, and I think Nick did, and I'm just glad we got it worked out on everyone's side because we love Nick. I think he loves being here, and he's definitely earned this, and he's going to earn it going forward too.
888-957-9570. 49er Faithful, how are we feeling about Nick Bosa being back? Relief, joy, happiness, everything. Not worried at all now. Super Bowl or bust. It's just such a relief when you're a fan and you see the top dogs, I should say, easy enough for me to say, all getting paid. It's relief. Now, it's not a relief on the salary cap. You had to do some restructuring with George Kittle and Trent Williams contracts. And we know you can't pay everyone. They're going to try to pay Ayuk. They're going to try to have everyone. But every year, and JD, who's filling in for Guru yesterday, is making some good points with Steiny. He's like, listen, every couple of years, you're going to move off of guys that you want to keep. It just happens in sports. It happens. It'll happen to the Niners, happens to the Chiefs, happens to everyone. So you can't keep everyone for, 3-4 years at a time. Doesn't work like that. But this year, and potentially next year, yeah, that's the window right now to capitalize. That's the window. While Brock Purdy's not getting paid, and hell, he still has to prove that he's a franchise quarterback and deserves franchise quarterback type of money. We shall see what goes on there. And I know you'd argue, hey, Spadoni, well, Jimmy Garoppolo, his sample size was so small, and we still gave him a fat contract. Yeah, again, timing is everything. The timing was there for Jimmy Garoppolo to get paid. He showed out in his limited sample size, and he was the highest paid quarterback at the time, which is wild in hindsight, but we live in wild times. Aliens exist. The government admitted it. Come on, man. Speaking of aliens, Patrick Mahomes plays tonight. Travis Kelce, he's going to have a workout to determine if he's going to be able to play tonight. That via Tom Pelissero of NFL Network. That was the latest report. Chiefs, Lions to kick off the NFL season in Kansas City tonight. The defending champs taking on Dan freaking bite your kneecap off Campbell, Jared Goff, Amon-Ra St. Brown, which is just one of the coolest names ever. And we're going to do predictions. Next segment, another 10, 12 minutes or so, I'll give my predictions because I can't do it tomorrow. The game would have already been played. I'm sure a lot of people are. A lot of the shows, I'll give you my Super Bowl winners. No, we're going to do that today because today is Christmas in the NFL. Christmas is here. And we got AFC picks, NFC picks, wild card divisions, and Super Bowl picks in about 12 minutes here. And I want to hear from you, your Super Bowl predictions at 888-957-9570. And we'll do a deep dive on the 49ers tomorrow. It's a 24-hour tease for you on this upcoming season. My thoughts, my predictions, the records, all that sort of stuff. But we'll do a league-wide view today, if that's okay. David Lombardi of The Athletic, who covers the San Francisco 49ers, and we're just talking about, not being able to pay everyone, and it seems like the 49ers are. They've just gotten it done under Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch. Outside of DeForest Buckner trading him, bringing in Kinlaw, they realized their mistake, traded for Javon Hargrave, and everything's fine. No harm, no foul. We'll see how Hargrave plays. I expect him to be good this year. But David Lombardi, again, who covers the team for The Athletic, joined Willard and Dibbs yesterday and, talks about the 49ers feeling comfortable about their money situation. Take a listen.
The cap is the cap. It's a hard salary cap. So at some point, the math stops mathing, and you can't fit everything under the cap. The Rams found out the hard way this past year. They had to start cutting people. But the 49ers believe that they are still in a sustainable position for 2024, even despite having all of these massive contracts on this team, because they believe they have enough cash on hand and they have the whole setup in such a way that they'll be able to restructure enough deals, and they have enough room to make these restructures to make it work. I liken it to a sink that's filling up with water. The salary cap is the sink. You're going to have expenditures like this Nick Bosa contract pouring in, but you're going to also have expenditures going out of the drain in the bottom. Your drain can't get too clogged. The Rams' drain got too clogged last year, right? And they weren't, they couldn't have enough expenditures kicking out of the bottom, so they essentially had the sink overflow.
And that's when the benefit of, hitting on some of these draft picks pays off. I just named a bunch of them. A lot of them was via trade, but Fred Warner, drafted. Deebo Samuel, drafted. Nick Bosa, drafted. George Kittle, drafted. Brandon Ayuk, you're hoping after this season. Again, drafted. So that's where it really pays off for the future when you hit in the draft. Now, they haven't hit a lot in the first round. In fact, this is the first round pick in the Lynch Shanahan era that has gotten a second contract with the team. How wild is that? Now, they may go back-to-back with Ayuk and Bosa, which would be huge. But they've whiffed a lot in the first round. But the really good organizations, dare I say the great organizations, are able to absorb all those whiffs when they hit via trade, when they hit in the late rounds. That masks up the odor and stench and the garbage of what you drafted in the first round. So Nick Bosa, he is back. And when you hit on someone like that, and it was a no-brainer pick at the time. Everyone thought that. Were you quibbling against Quinnen Williams or Nick Bosa? Hell, in hindsight, Quinnen Williams is a baller too. On Nick Bosa level, different position, defensive tackle. Albeit he's still a hell of a player with New York. And wait till you all see where I have the New York Jets ending up this upcoming season. It comes as a surprise to some of you. Some of you may not, but just wait in about 10 minutes or so when I give all my picks for this upcoming season, all the division winners, all of the wild card winners, and my Super Bowl matchup. 888-957-9570. Good morning to all of you on the Xfinity mobile text line. Good morning to all of you on Twitch and YouTube, powered by First NorCal Credit Union. Be sure to download the Odyssey app and favorite 95.7 The Game to take us wherever you need to go around the country. All your Warriors, Giants, 49ers coverage, all right there on that Odyssey app. Also, you have thousands of other stations you can get. Rock, rap, hip-hop, reggae, classical, whatever you like, we got it on that Odyssey app. And good morning to all of you just getting ready for work, getting off work, getting ready for school, getting ready to commute, do what you got to do. It's Christmas in the NFL today. Game 1, week 1 starts tonight in Kansas City, and I want to hear from the fired up 49er fans on this Nick Bosa deal. How we feeling? from the, good point, 209 Dre Greenlaw drafted. Another good one. And they got him early. That was a shrewd move from the Niners early on. And Dre Greenlaw feels like a steal at what he's making right now. 510, good morning. On the Xfinity Mobile text line, fantasy football is back. I'm in 2 leagues. How many leagues are you in, Spadone? And what's your name in them? I go by Mr. Irrelevant and Stepdad. Okay, 510. I like that. I'm only in 2 leagues as well this year. Not doing a lot. Not doing anything Survivor. It's just got to tighten the belt this year. Doing a lot of different trips. Going to Mickey Mouse Land in a couple weeks. Going to a destination wedding in December in Mexico for the one of Mrs. best friends who was in our wedding. So we'll go down and do that in Oaxaca. Never been to Mexico. Can't wait. But not betting a lot this year. Also, last time I bet, lost a decent amount of cash on the 49ers. And when Brock Purdy got hurt, my money was pretty much down the drain. And when Josh Johnson got hurt, it was really just, might as well have just lit it on fire at that point. It was tough. It was tough. My family on the YouTube chat, not my entire family, not all 10 of you, in my opinion, hopefully, oh, sorry, that was Ernie Chavez. Hopefully Jade isn't listening. Now, well, she knows I lost a lot on that one. She wasn't that mad at me because I had a separate little thing. I put $20 into an account a few years ago, and I grew it all the way up to $300. It is what it is. A couple hundred down the drain on the Niners. Wasn't that big of a deal. My family, my opinion, overpaid Bosa. But it's not my money, and apparently the Niners have a bunch of it. I don't think Bosa's overpaid. Like, what else are you going to do at that point? It is what it is. He's the best defensive player in football. He should get paid like it. And that happens every single time it's up for contract. And he just happened to be coming off a DPOY season. Again, timing is everything with these things, and he cashed in big time. And I'm sure his level is going to be broken. Hell, it could be by Chris Jones, could be by someone next year. Micah Parsons, I'm sure, will break this. So he'll be able to enjoy being the highest paid defensive player in history for a little bit until the next guy, and then the next guy, and the next guy, until it's like, oh, wow, Nick Bosa's a bargain at this price. That's just how it works in the NFL. We got to take a quick break. Come on back. More Bosa talk, 888-957-9570. And also, predictions. I want to know your Super Bowl predictions, people. What's the matchup? Who's winning it? Chiefs-Lions kicking off the season tonight, Week 1, Thursday Night Football in Kansas City. The defending champs taking on the Detroit Lions. Super Bowl picks, division winners, wildcard winners on the other side right here on the pregame show. Joe Spadoni, 95.7 The Game.
When buying her home, Jan couldn't compete against cash offers. And Jan is very competitive. At her kid's soccer game.
Kick the f***ing ball!
At the grocery store.
Too many f***ing items! Express lane violation! Right here! Express lane violation!
And at charades.
Suck it, you losers!
And that's why she worked with Fly Homes. We helped Jan structure an offer.
Welcome back. Pregame show, Joe Spadoni, 95.7 The Game. Nick Bosa, reigning DPOY, 49ers defensive end, future Hall of Famer. I'm already calling him now. Agrees to a 5-year, $170 million extension with the San Francisco 49ers, including $122.5 million guaranteed. Will make him the highest paid defensive player in history. So Bosa is back. The vibes are through the roof. And week 1 is here. Kansas City, Detroit tonight. And it really is Christmas. Yeah, I don't even care too much about the Lions or the Chiefs, to be quite honest with you. I mean, I care in the sense that it's content. I could talk about them. I just love football. I'll watch every single game, all the time. But it's just a random matchup in the Spadoni household, right? But it's like a celebration. I'm carrying my net around this. I was like, Jade, it's week 1 tonight, so don't ask me to go out. Don't ask me to do anything. Come 5:15 or whatever. The game's on, and I'm going to be chilling. This is an Amazon broadcast, by the way. Do we know that, or is it NBC? I know NBC in the past had like the debut game. Do we know? Check that out. My Twitch and YouTube powered by First NorCal Credit Union. Let me know. Also, 888-957-9570. That's to get involved because I want your Super Bowl picks, people. That's what I want because I'm about to give all my picks for this upcoming season. Where's my music? Oh, thank you. It's beautiful. NFL primetime. What's going to be in store for the 2023-24 NFL season? Let's start in the AFC as we're doing our divisional picks, our wild card picks, and our Super Bowl picks. AFC East, believe it or not, I like the Jets, Jets. I do. I am bullish on Aaron Rodgers and the Jets, Bob Saleh, that defense, Garrett Wilson, Sauce Gardner. I'm excited about this team. I'm buying the hype. I know the Jets have the longest playoff drought, so then just getting there would be fine. But no, not for New York, not for Aaron Rodgers. He's trying to change his legacy. Can anyone's legacy change more than Aaron Rodgers this year? I don't think so. So I got the Jets. If they win the Super Bowl, that is. I think he solidifies himself as maybe a top 4, top 5 quarterback of all time. We were talking about like he was already going to be there for a while, but just the one ring. If he gets another one, I think that solidifies his status as a legend, especially in New York. So I got the Jets winning that division. AFC North, I still like the Bengals until they get knocked off. I know it's a tough division, probably the best outside the AFC East. Pick your poison there with those two divisions, but like the Bengals, Joey Burrow, he's going to get a new contract soon. He deserves it. AFC South, let's go Jaguars just by, that division stinks. Maybe AR-15, Anthony Richardson, something. Maybe, CJ Stroud is something with the Texans, but their rosters just aren't quite there yet. Titans, Shanahan, again, as Lone Hill likes to call him. Derrick Henry, is Henry just going to keep on going like the Energizer Bunny? I don't know. I have my doubts. So I like the Jags to win that division. AFC West, the defending champs own that division until proven otherwise. I don't care about your Justin Herberts. I don't care about your Brandon Staley's. I don't care about your Austin Ecklers, your Derwin James, Joey Bosa's, Khalil Max. Patrick freaking Mahomes runs that division until proven otherwise. He is a freak. He is a monster. He's one of the greatest talents I've ever seen. And no one in that division is knocking him off. Don't care who he's throwing to. All right. So for the AFC, got the Jets, got the Bengals, got the Jags, got the Chiefs. Flipping over to the NFC. And we're doing predictions here. And I want to know your Super Bowl picks. 888-957-9570 as week 1 of the NFL season gets kicked off today in Kansas City. We'll start with the NFC East. Believe it or not, I think the Eagles take a little step back. I like the Cowboys to win that division. Might be a hot take for some, but I think the addition of Brandon Cooks is going to be huge for Dak. I think Dak has I'm going to show you all type of season. I've been taking a lot of flack over my playoff performance. I'm expecting some good things out of Dak in the regular season. We all know the playoffs is a different beast, but I like the Cowboys to win the NFC East. NFC North, I like the Detroit Lions. Can't believe I'm saying that. The Detroit freaking Lions to win that division. I'm a believer in Dan Campbell, believer in Jared Goff, what he did last year. How they ended last year was impressive. Going out to Lambeau and silencing that crowd. The last game Aaron Rodgers played in a Green Bay Packers uniform was a loss. The Detroit Lions. And Dan Campbell going for it, putting his nuts out there on the table. Icy Lambeau Field. Icy nuts for Danny Campbell. The Lions, NFC South. I like the Saints, Derek Carr. Although, I like the Bucs to make some noise. I don't think they're going to ultimately win that division. But again, I'm not sleeping on Tampa. I'm not sleeping on it. Everyone thinks they're going to be one of the worst teams. I'm not sure about that. But I like Derek Carr. I like that defense. Michael Thomas is back. We shall see with the Saints if they are for real when they win that division. NFC West, it's the Niners. Not even close for me. Night. Seahawks, cute story. They'll be one of my wild cards. And speaking of which, I already realized I flubbed my wild card picks for the AFC. But that's fine. We'll just go back to them. So my AFC wild cards. I like the Chargers. Because Justin Herbert, he's a baller. He'll get you to the wild card. Will he do anything past that? We shall see. I like the Ravens. Lamar getting paid as well. I'm still not sure about Cleveland. Deshaun, he looked bad last year. Will offseason help? We shall see. That whole situation is just ugly out there in Cleveland. I know they have talent. Myles Garrett, Amari Cooper, amongst others, but still not sure about them. So I like the Ravens, like the Chargers, and I like the Buffalo Bills. I have the Jets winning that division, but I like the Bills still to make a wild card there. NFC, I like the Eagles. I like the Seahawks. And I still like the Minnesota Vikings and my guy Kirk Cousins to get there. I know. You like that? You like that. I do. Justin Jefferson amongst others. I know their defense isn't great. But those are my picks. So for the AFC, once more, got the Jets winning the East. Got the Bengals winning the North. In the South, I got the Jags. In the West, got the Chiefs. And then my wild card picks in the AFC: Chargers, Bills, Ravens. NFC East, I like the Cowboys winning it. NFC North, I like Detroit. NFC South, I like the Saints. NFC West, I like the Niners. Wild card picks for the NFC, like the Eagles. I like Kirk Cousins. You like that. You like that. And I like the Seattle Seahawks. Super Bowl picks. I like the Jets to meet the San Francisco 49ers. That was a Hard Knocks thing, right? They did that. The magician or whatever, like he asked so-and-so's pick or whatever. But I like Aaron Rodgers getting the Jets a la Brady a few years ago with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, getting them all the way to the Super Bowl in his first season. He ultimately won it. I like Aaron Rodgers to do that with the Jets. Now, are they going to win? Are they not? It's going to be a tease for tomorrow. Who I got winning the entire thing. Might say that's a cop-out, but you know what? I don't care. I like the Jets, like the Niners to meet in the Super Bowl. What are your Super Bowl picks? 888-957-9570. That was a little fun. Just get back in the swing of things. I don't know. You know, people like to say, prediction radio sucks. That's boring. I was like, you know what? That's the essence of sports talk. It's talking about who you think's going to win. Who do you think? All season long, you're going to be saying, you know, I like so-and-so to win this division. I like so-and-so to be a wild card. You know, I always believed in them after that great Thursday night win in week 3 when they're 2-1. See, I was a believer in this team. That's the fun part about sports talk, right? Joe's got a big smile on his face. Bosa's back. I won't ask for his picks just yet. Maybe I'll ask for his Super Bowl pick. Maybe he'll give it to me. Maybe he won't. You know what? Maybe he's going to wait for tomorrow. We shall see. But Joe Shasky has dropped me off a coffee, and now I'm in a great mood. And the crossover's next right here on 95.7 The Game, the pregame show.
Hey, I'm Andy. If you don't know me, it's probably because I'm not famous. But I did start a men's grooming company called Harry's.
Show on 95.7 The Game.
Welcome back. It is the pregame show. Joe Spadoni, 95.7 The Game. Crossed you over in moments where Joe Shasky joins me. He's already right across from me. He's toasty. He's feeling good. He's feeling great on a Thursday. It's Christmas. Christmas is here. We got NFL Week 1 tonight. We got football tonight. We got Chiefs-Lions, Joe. I'm so damn excited. I want your Super Bowl picks, people, because after today, it doesn't matter. Sorry, the team would have already played. Doesn't count after today. So I got to hear Super Bowl picks from all of you. I like the Jets to meet the 49ers in the Super Bowl. I'll tell you who wins tomorrow. It's called 24-hour tease, people. Okay? How you doing, Joey?
I'm so excited.
You had a huge smile coming in here, dropping off the coffee, which made me smile because I needed this. Thank you.
I mean, look, the Niners kept their best or second best player, depending on who you're talking to.
He's the best player on the team. Yes.
He's been one of the great draft picks.
Most talented is Christian McCaffrey. Go on, sorry.
You know, he's just been one of the great draft picks of all time. Like, I want Niner fans that are about my age to go back. Like, could you imagine if they didn't retain Patrick Willis?
Yeah.
Could you imagine if they didn't retain Ronnie Lott for the slightly older crowd? Or you know, like we always talk about the woulda, coulda, shoulda of Charles Haley, right? And there were a variety of reasons of why Charles Haley was traded away. He's on a short list of greatest draft picks in 49er history.
I mean, it would have been like when the Raiders, if they kept Khalil Mack, it would have changed. As my fandom, it would have been huge. I haven't been able to wear my Khalil Mack jersey in like 5 or 6 years. Come on, it sucks.
I know.
Now people have their Bosa jerseys, keep them. I'm not getting rid of my Mac one, but you know what I'm saying? Like, it's fun to keep your players in an era where people are penny pinching left and right. You got weak ass organizations, want to cost cut. It's like, no, this is the NFL. This is the $1 billion. Everyone is generating so much revenue. So yes, I'm always rooting for the players in this too. And yes, it's refreshing to see a franchise like the 49ers pay every single one of their person. And when they don't, when they fail, like they did with Buckner, when they realize their mistake, Kinlaw's not it. You know what? I'll go trade for Javon Hargrave. You know what? If we need a left tackle, I'll go trade for Trent Williams. They have been so good and shrewd in all these negotiations. They took an L here, I'm sure they feel like. But you know what?
He's here.
At the grand scheme of things, it's not an L.
He's here.
It's a win for everyone because you got the best defensive player in sports.
And he's going to play this weekend.
Yes.
Like, that's what this is all about. I mean, honestly, unless you're a complete moron, what's the hole in the guy's game? I mean, sometimes he doesn't keep his gap integrity.
I mean, yeah, the only thing, and Baldy brings it up, is probably just doesn't play every single down. But outside of that, it's just, you know what?
Okay.
You don't need him to.
Okay.
But that's where your other guys need to step up. Like Drake Jackson, can you do something for me?
But this is the modern sports fan,
yeah,
where we have to like pick apart someone's game. Like Steph Curry's amazing. Well, you know, every now and then he becomes a defensive liability.
Well, everything.
Shut up.
Everything can't be sunshine and rainbows, but today it can be.
I mean,
right?
This guy is as close to a complete player as we have in modern sports.
He's a beast.
I'm not saying you. I'm saying like the person who wants to pick apart his game. You sound like an idiot. Yeah. This is one of our favorite players who has been an absolute beast. Look, yeah, he's had the one injury as a professional. He's had the one injury. He got a little nicked up last year. He dominated in the fourth quarter of games all down the stretch last year to help clinch the NFC West, to help clinch a playoff spot and the number 2 seed. This is why we root for sports. Yeah. Like, this guy has been outstanding since day one. He has changed the fabric of your defense. He has made you a respectable top 10 defense day in and day out. You know, every time it's 3rd and 8, he has a chance to not only put the quarterback down, but to just hurry the entire play up and make your secondary better. He makes guys opposite. Think about this. Dee Ford had a resurgent year, 1 year with Nick Bosa. Eric Armstead had his most productive year opposite Nick Bosa. How about your boy Arden Key? Did he have a good year opposite Nick Bosa?
He did. Got paid.
All right? Like, just go down the list. So many guys have had monster years. We talk so much about, think about the gravity that Steph Curry has on the court and all the players he makes better. And we talked for a long, long time. Barry Bonds, when he's in the lineup, look what he does to a Jeff Kent. When Nick Bosa is playing, your cornerbacks can jump routes a little quicker. Your opposite defensive end doesn't have to face a double team. Guys up the middle can go one-on-one with a guard or a center who's not as good as them. Javon Hargrave and now Bosa with Armstead, I don't care who's opposite him. Somebody's going to pop. They're going to figure it out. And I'm so excited they brought him back. Yep. So excited.
Well, it's a ripple effect, to your point. It's literally a butterfly effect type of thing, shout out Ashton Kutcher, on the entire defense. Like this guy, that's why we're talking about, if Nick Bosa's not there week 1, they could take a big fat L in Pittsburgh because he is that important. He is that dude. He is the straw that stirs that drink in the backfield. And now that he's back, Joe, I'm loving the 49ers chances this week. The swag I don't know if you heard from all the players yesterday. Our own Alex Espinosa was there. He was interviewing all of them. Shout out Alex, grinding out there in Santa Clara, talking to all these guys. Fred Warner letting out a huge scream when he heard it. The team all hearing it. Trent Williams saying it was weighing the team down.
Very interesting.
That was interesting because everything we heard is like, they'll get it done.
But everybody always says it's so interesting because people will be like, well, I mean, the guys know it's a business. It's a business. And they might know it's a business, but as a team, you're also looking like, well, our number one goal, we're not the Jags. You just make the playoffs, things are great or whatever. No. This is about Operation Super Bowl.
Yeah.
This is about getting past Philly, getting to the Super Bowl, and having that opportunity to win that 50-50 game, right, at the end of the year. That's what this is all about. And the guys know they need him to be able to accomplish that mission. So the money part put to the side, because, yes, I understand the business. I'm talking about as a team. As a team, these guys want that guy there because it makes all their jobs easier. You think Fred Warner, who's an absolute monster, you don't think he realizes, when Fred's on the field, I have a little more space to run around. Yes. Guys up front get to that quarterback quicker. I can jump the route on a tight end or on a running back, and because I know that guy's going to be hurried, the quarterback. Both look at again. There are no perfect players. Mahomes, people say, is reckless at times. Appreciate greatness. Yes. All right? Stop trying to poke holes. Oh, he's overpaid. He got too many million. What about a year from now? Can we just, everyone, take a deep breath? This is one of our favorite players.
It's so
on our favorite team who has been outstanding, and we're going to keep him for the next 4 or 5 years. We'll worry about 5 years from now. I'm just so excited.
It's always so funny when I hear this. Oh, he's so overpaid. He's always like, it's going to look like a deal in a couple of years. That's just how it works. Because you know what? He knows coming down the line, Micah Parsons. And he's going to become the highest paid. And then someone after him. And then someone after him. Jimmy Garoppolo was the highest paid quarterback at one time. And then a couple of years down the line, oh, that looks like a bargain, actually. So, stop. You remember that? There was a moment in time, Jay Shasky, that Kirk Cousins, Derek Carr, and Jimmy Garoppolo were the highest paid at their positions. You remember that?
I know.
So I actually feel pretty damn good that Nick Bosa, a guy that deserves to be the highest paid, is getting that and by a wide margin.
He's not 31. He's 25.
That's another thing with this. He's young.
This is his first. Yes. Well, technically, I would always argue, if you're a first round pick, you got pretty good money. Not great. It's good money. I mean, let's call it what it is. To us normal folks, this is a mega deal. And he becomes instantly the highest paid player in 49er history, which is its own, conversation. And he's the number one pick. If we were just going draft pick during this era of 49ers, Kyle Shanahan, John Lynch, he's their signature pick.
Well, he's the first round pick to get a second contract with the team.
That's kind of crazy.
Isn't that nuts?
That's kind of crazy.
Right?
But it goes to show how great he's been.
No, absolutely. Well, Ayuk, and you're hopefully continuing that trend.
Been awesome.
But Kittle's been next awesome. Year. No, exactly. I'm saying Ayuk, another first rounder. You're hoping you're continuing that trend going forward because, listen, they've had a lot of whiffs. Solomon Thomas, Reuben Foster, Mike McGlinchey, they've whiffed on a lot of these first round picks. But Nick Bosa, from day one, you knew this was the right pick. There was an argument here or there. And Quentin Williams has been pretty damn good. He got paid as well with the New York Jets, so you probably wouldn't have gone wrong there. But Nick Bosa, he is the top. If you're just looking top to bottom around the league, he is that dude. There is no one that strikes fear more. They were playing the Raiders last year in Vegas, and he was pretty quiet for the most part. Him and Crosby were actually pretty quiet for the most part. But what was the one play that changed that entire game? It was Nick Bosa pushing Colton Miller all the way back into Jarrett Stidham, caused the interception, and that was the game. That was the play. And it was just one play. And he was quiet the whole game. But that's what he does. He makes you game plan against him. And that's the one thing you can say about a player is that you have to stop what you're doing and say, listen, this is the guy we're preparing against. You listen to Mike Tomlin yesterday. He was talking to head coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers. He's like, yeah, we're under the assumption he's going to be playing. Because you have to be.
I know.
You have to account for guys like that at all times.
How do you watch, like, when for example, when my team's on defense and when Russ was in his prime, Russell Wilson,
yes,
I would be like, sack him. Like, like in key situations.
Yeah.
I don't know how you watch, but like, this is how I watch. Like, get him. You know what I mean? Like, that's when I'm in my seats.
I was like, get his ass. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, Bosa's one of the few players in my lifetime, and I would put, obviously, Bryant Young at one time, but he wasn't like this. And I would put Aldon Smith absolutely in that category.
Baller.
Ahmed Brooks at times was kind of like that, but not to this degree. Charles Haley clearly was like that. But we're talking about a short list. We're like, get him. Like, you literally expect him to get him. Like the same way that you predict a Bonds home run, a Curry three-pointer when he crosses half court. I expect him to sack the quarterback on 3rd and 11. He's that good.
He's a prime time player. Like when the lights are up, he makes the big plays. And that's what he can say. Like that's what the best in the league do. I think he does it. I actually think Max does it as well. Max Crosby. He gets after Mahomes a lot in those big games. Donald does it.
Von Miller at one point did
Von Miller. You always
Lawrence
just expect
Taylor,
Lawrence
obviously.
Taylor. Like you look at these guys, and again, it goes back to, I think he's a little overpaid. No, he's not. Because these are the moments.
He's a premium player.
Yes.
He's a premium. This is, I know
it's
everybody
the
hates
difference
Jerry
between
Jones.
a win and a loss, getting a key sack at a key moment in a game. He game wrecks these things, man.
Joey, I know
my God.
everybody wants to be, Charles Schwab, but like the reality is
Talk to
this.
Chuck.
Sometimes there are times in life, premium costs a premium, and it's worth it.
Yeah, it's like $6 over at Chevron.
For example, I'm a big believer in like spend money on your feet, on your shoes, right? Like, and I don't mean like you have a collection of 700 Jordans, but like to me, I don't want to have foot pain and back pain, and so it's worth it to spend $150 on an Adidas pair of boots because it just makes me feel better. For example, a vehicle for your family, and I've had this conversation with my brother. He's got 3 little kids under 3 years old. I go, Pat, get yourself a reliable, good car so you and your wife aren't stuck on the side of the road with your kids. Like, it's worth it.
Yes.
A home, right? We all know in the Bay Area, you're overpaying for a home. Yep. We just know it. You know what, though? Shelter is one of the most important things. A lot of people that I know are trying to put their kids into a better, whether it's college, whether it's private school for whatever reason, they want to give their child a better opportunity. Their premium is giving your kid a better shot at life and a better leg up, and it's worth the investment.
Yes.
Anyone who sent their child away to either private school or to college or whatever and has made that financial commitment, you know what? It is a premium, but it's worth it for my kid's life.
Absolutely. That's Joe Shasky. He's coming up next with Bonte Hill, the Morning Roast. We're on fire today. NFL Week 1 starts today. Chiefs, Lions, officially kicking things off. I'm so fired up. Nick Bosa agreeing to a 5-year, $170 million extension with the San Francisco 49ers, including $122.5 million guaranteed. Will make him the highest paid defensive player in NFL history. They're breaking down that on the other side right here, 95.7 The Game.
You're listening to 95.7 The Game, KGMZ FM and HD1 San Francisco.